Hey everybody, how you doing? It's Max, Chief Evangelist over here at Happily, aka the Tim Duncan of telling you what today's date is. And today, I am super stoked to tell you all about our new app, Tick Tock Today. And no, it's not an integration with TikTok. I'm the integration with TikTok. Tick Tock Today might be one of the simplest yet useful apps on the HubSpot app marketplace ever to exist. All it does is it creates a property for today's date, puts it across any of those records that you want it on, and it keeps that property up to date with the current date every single night at midnight across all the objects you're using it on. Now, before you start hitting that keyboard and saying, well, Max, I can just get Operations Hub Pro and create a scheduled workflow and create a date field and date stamp that every single day. Duh. There are quite literally an infinite amount of good reasons to buy Operations Hub Pro. This ain't one of them, even if you do have Operations Hub Pro. And by the way, you should absolutely have it if you don't have it. The reason you don't want to use workflows in order to do this is because when you have workflows running every single day, your workflow history, when you go look at it in the activity feed, is just going to be flooded with repetitive notifications that this contact went through the today's date workflow, right? That makes it way harder to find all these other important enrollments that that object could be going through. And on top of that, when you want to do that same process for another object, you got to go build another property, you got to go build another workflow, you got to schedule it, you got to stamp the date. You could just check off a box and have it done. So the most common use case that we see people building today's date fields for is for when you want to do custom calculated fields that display a time between two dates. So for example, if we take a look here, I'm going to go ahead and select a field type of calculation as I build this time between example, right? We're going to change it from custom equation down to time between. And the problem is you can select a start date and an end date, but this only lets you choose from dates that are available as properties, and you don't have an option for today's date, which is what caused a lot of people to go and create today's date fields for everything. Again, the problem is you got to spend $800 a month on Operations Hub to do that with a scheduled workflow. Then you got to build the workflows, and then you got to worry about the workflow histories on records getting completely flooded by these same workflows running every single day. The whole idea behind Tick Tock Today is, again, we have that property that just holds today's date. It gets updated every night at midnight for the next day, and you're able to use it. So the way that works is you choose a start date or an end date first. It really kind of doesn't matter. I'm just going to do last engagement date. And then what I'm going to do is where I want to select today's date, I can just search for the field called Tick Tock Today. Boom. And that's always going to have the value of today's date in there. And then I can build my time between calculated field for it. Let me show you a couple common examples that I think a lot of people are going to use with this. So let's take a look at a contact record here to show you how I've deployed this time between field with Tick Tock Today a couple of different ways. So I see people usually using this in one of two manners. One is to measure the age of something, right? So how long has it been since a specific date in the past? You can use this for really cool things like getting someone's age based on their birthday, right? In this case, we're using someone's birthday as the starting date, and the end date is going to be that Tick Tock Today field. You could do something similar and measure how long someone has been a customer for, where you have a became a customer on date as the starting date, and for the end date, you have Tick Tock Today. And again, this will constantly expand as time goes on. You can also use it for more of a countdown style property, right? So in this case, what you're doing is you have a date in the future as an end date, and a start date, you're actually using today's date. And what this is doing here is it's showing, all right, their renewal date is, 12/31/2023. They've got 5 months left until that renewal date. So this is cool because you have a very quick explanation of how much time there is until this date shows up. And those are just examples for contact records. You could do this with any object, such as measuring time since the last activity on a company record. Maybe you want to do time left to close on a deal where you're measuring the time between today's date and the prospective close date. You can even do it on tickets that's just telling you visually how old the ticket is and how long it's been open for. And yes, it works on custom objects as well. Whenever I'm evaluating the impact that an app has on HubSpot, I'm always thinking about how it affects the big three pillars: reporting, automation, and segmentation. And this app does it all. I can easily create reports that show me average customer lifespan. So on average, how long have my customers been my customers? I can easily create lists of contacts and segment them by age. For example, show me folks who are between the ages of 30 and 40. And what's great about that is as that time between field changes, they will go in and out of that list as they meet and leave that age range. I can even create workflows for deals that would trigger when a deal reaches a certain age, but it's still stuck in an earlier deal stage. And maybe I want to create a notification for a manager to reach out to that sales rep to see what's going on. There's a million reasons why you might want to create a time between property that utilizes today's date. But one of the best reasons to use this app is because it's free. That's right, it's free for one object. So you download the app, you choose which object you want to put the Tick Tock Today property on, and you're done. If you want to do a today's date property on more than one object, it's just $9 a month for each additional object after that. And that's Tick Tock Today, a simple app that takes today's date and puts it across all your different objects so you can build wonderfully simple and useful time between calculated fields inside of HubSpot. If you got any questions on Tick Tock Today, drop them in the comments below. I'd also love to hear what you're planning on building using a today's date property that's updated automatically. If you want to stay up to date with everything we've got coming next, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on LinkedIn, and let us know what else we can build to improve your quality of life as a user on HubSpot. Thanks, everybody.
And you know it was built happily.